Hey everyone, today I'm doing a recap of my trip to Oahu, Hawaii. I had planned on vlogging when I was there and I did do a little bit, but on the second day of our trip I ended up injuring my knee and then I was just in too much pain and just forgot about the vlogging. So I'm just gonna do a recap now. I'm gonna insert some videos, some pictures, and just talk a little bit about the hotel, the excursions we went on. I have some tips that might help you if you are planning a trip. We flew, I think it was on May the 11th from Montreal to Vancouver and then Vancouver to Honolulu. And in Vancouver, it was so great. Normally when I fly to the US, if we fly out of Montreal, we clear US customs in Montreal. But because we were connecting in Vancouver, we had to do it there. And we weren't sure, like, is it in a different terminal building? Oh my gosh, it could not have been easier. We basically left the gate where we got off the plane, walked, I think maybe 5 minutes, went through US border security. They didn't even ask for our passports. They basically just take a picture of you on an iPad. Then we go through another security check and we were through it in literally, I think 7 minutes because there was nobody in line. So if you don't go back, through general security, they have their own special one, which worked wonderful. I was really, really impressed. So then we had about an hour and a half to kill because our flight was 3 hours late leaving Montreal because somebody kept stealing our plane. So we finally got to Vancouver and we were hungry and we tried this restaurant and it's called Joe and the Juice and they're in the domestic and international terminals and oh my goodness, like I just want to fly to Vancouver to get another smoothie. It's a very healthy restaurant. They had the best smoothie and this sandwich that had like avocado and it was just all good stuff. Oh my gosh, it is so good. And I think my daughter said they are from, oh gosh, is it Denmark? Because I know they're in Iceland as well, she told me. But if you are in the Vancouver airport and you see a Joe and the Juice, get yourself a smoothie. It's so good. So transferring was super easy, but it took us 22 hours from the time we left our home to the time we got to the hotel because we left home at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and we got to the hotel in Honolulu at 9 p.m. Hawaii time, which is 6 hours behind us, so it worked out to be 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in a way it was good because we just showered and then went to bed and I found that, we got on that time pretty easily, but it's the coming home part that I always struggle with. So we stayed at the Sheraton Waikiki Beach Resort and we had an oceanfront double and we booked our trip this year through Air Canada Vacations because the deal was phenomenal. Like basically we got the airplane ride for free and last year when we went to Maui we booked through Costco. So both are great places to book holidays because we priced it out like doing it on our own and doing it through them, and yeah, we saved a lot of money booking through Air Canada Vacations. Going there I wore my Spanx Air Essentials tapered pants and I wore an Athleta tee and then I wore my Spanx contour jacket over it because I'm usually kind of chilly whenever I fly. And then for shoes, I wore my On Cloud shoes. They were the heaviest shoes that I took, but I wore the no-show socks from Amazon because whenever we fly to the US, we have to take our shoes off, but when we go to Europe, we don't have to. So I didn't want to be walking around, like in bare feet. So these no-show socks are great. I carried my away bag and then I had just a crossbody purse with me. I took two crossbody purses. I took the small one that I showed you in my capsule wardrobe video, but at the last minute I took my larger one and I'm glad that I did because it was so hot that I was able to carry a water bottle in the bigger bag. So then on Sunday it was Mother's Day and we got up and we just sat out on the balcony a little bit and just watched the waves and the palm trees. It was so beautiful. So we had breakfast in the hotel, but it was like a smoothie bar. So again, we just had like a smoothie. I think my daughter had like an egg sandwich or something, one of those breakfast sandwiches. We walked on the beach all the way down to just past Waikiki Beach. There's a pier, I don't know what it's called, but I wore my Chico's ruffle neck dress and my Mephisto Helen sandals. And then in the afternoon, we went to the Cheesecake Factory for lunch. In the afternoon, we just wanted to sit by the pool because it was nice. The water was, the ocean was too rough. I was a little leery about getting in the ocean considering during last year. I almost got swept out into the Pacific. So I stuck to the pool this time. For my pool outfit, I was just wearing a bathing suit. I bought 2 bathing suits this year from Amazon, and I haven't talked about them because I didn't like them, and I don't recommend them because they did not offer enough support. So I'll link the ones that I really do like from Amazon that I wore last year when I went to Maui. But I do love this white Amazon cover up, and I'm wearing it in the size XXL. And then on my feet, I just wore the Olakai flip-flops, which are amazing. I believe they're made in Hawaii. You can wash them and they dry very quickly. Super comfortable. I have flat feet and they do have a little bit of a support where I need it. And then I just carried my Vera Bradley beach bag. We were so full. We went to the Cheesecake Factory, yeah, and I think maybe we took leftovers home. I don't remember, but we didn't have like a big dinner. We weren't hungry. So then on Monday, this is where things really took a turn that I wasn't expecting. We had to get up at 5:30. We were going on an excursion that was an hour away from the hotel. Our hotel was like right on the beach beside Waikiki Beach. We had to walk a couple of blocks to meet the van that was going to pick us up. So we got on the catamaran and everything was going fine. It was about an hour's boat ride because we were 3 hours off the coast and we were in 3,000 feet of water. We were looking for wild dolphins, but they were spotted dolphins, which I had never heard of. They weren't like spinner dolphins because it's illegal to be around spinner dolphins. Like you can't chase them or go looking for them or anything. I got fitted for our snorkel equipment, our flippers, and I let everybody jump off the boat first. The seas, they were pretty good. Like they weren't like huge waves. So then I jumped in the water. And of course, I swallowed a bunch of salt water, which I always do. It was really hard to hear the guy on the boat because there were some waves. I got separated from the group, like they were going one way, and then I looked up and it's like, where is everybody? And so anyways, I caught up with them. I did not see any dolphins while I was in the water. I really regret ever getting in the water because that was our second full day of the vacation, and that's where I hurt my knee. Because the swells were starting to pick up a little bit. Like it was fine. I wasn't scared. It wasn't dangerous or anything. But the way that this catamaran was, I've snorkeled many, many times in the past, and the stairs usually go into the water. Well, these didn't, and I didn't know that. And I have really short legs. So I had to literally like lay on my back, put my feet up on the steps, and then pull myself up like with these ropes to get on the ladder to get in the boat. I couldn't do it because, you know, the waves, so the guys had to help me and they kind of pushed me in the butt. And whenever I put my leg on the ladder, I twisted it and it hurt. And I knew something was wrong. So there was another stop that they made, but before we get to that, then people were still in the water and one of the guys starts yelling, "What is that?" And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's sort of like a shark because my daughter was still in the water. Well, this really strange fish that apparently is very rare, like they were so excited about seeing this fish. I think they spent a half an hour just looking at it. It's a special fish that comes from the depths of the ocean. I think it's called a moonfish or a sunfish, but it's such a weird looking fish that it's cute. I didn't see it, of course, because I was up in the boat and there was no way I was getting off the boat again until we reached land because I didn't want to like embarrass myself or hurt myself. So then the dolphins started coming to like near the boat. I could see the dolphins from the boat. Just keep that in mind. You know, if you ever go snorkeling off the shore, you want to check the ladder because I just didn't have the upper body strength to get back in fighting the water and everything. So then they went to a second spot where they went to a turtle cleaning station where the green sea turtles come in, and they have these like little fish that clean all the algae and stuff off of their shells. I could see them from the boat, so I didn't feel like I had missed anything because I'd swam with the turtles before. Yeah, I really, really regret getting in the water. I wore my Lands End rash guard, which was great. I did not burn at all. And I wore a tankini, which I'll link below. And then I think we had lunch. We went to the Cheesecake Factory again for lunch when we got back, and then we just hung out by the pool and kind of rested. So then on Tuesday, we woke up to a Kona, which is a seasonal tropical storm that likes to hang over the Hawaii Islands. We went to Denny's for breakfast. When we were eating breakfast, I have never seen it rain so hard in all my life. There was actually flooding. They got 9 inches of rain, and we were supposed to hike Diamond Head at 9 a.m. because you have to reserve to get into Diamond Head. They only allow so many people at a time. So we thought, well, there's no point in going to Diamond Head because it's just going to be all muddy. But then the rain just stopped and the sun came out. And it was so humid. Now at that point, I felt like I was catching a cold. So I really didn't feel that great. And my knee was sore, but not too bad. So we took a lift. That's how we got around. We took lifts. And we did a rent-a-car later on. I'll get to that. We went to Diamond Head. But if you take a lift, you have to ask them to drop you off on the other side of the tunnel. Otherwise, they're going to stop where the buses stop. And then you're going to have to walk really far before you even get to the admission office. So I'm going to go through all the tips and tricks at the end of the video so you can get the pen and paper and make some notes. So we went to Diamond Head. I'm going to show you the footage now. It kind of explains into detail how I felt about Diamond Head. But I was getting sick, and it is not an easy hike unless you are in shape, because don't expect it to be like flat. It is not. You'll see what it's like. So I'll play the footage now that I had intended to go in my vlog. Okay, so I think we're about a third of the way up. It's a relatively easy walk. It is steep in portions. But what I'm finding hard is after all that rain, it is so humid. It's got to be like 85% humidity. And, you know, coming from a cold climate, I'm having a hard time dealing with the humidity. So just wanted to check in. We'll check in again. Okay, well, I think we're about halfway, and I feel like I'm close to death. At least when I go, I'll be in a cute outfit. It is humid. Oh my god, I don't know how people live in such humid places. I love the heat to escape in the winter, but I cannot take humidity. So where we are now, the walk is definitely a little rougher. There are puddles, so you have to navigate, but if you're like me and you only have like 27-inch legs, it can be a challenge. So you just have to hang on to the rock, and yeah, but I'm proud of myself. I'm getting my steps in today. I'll check in again.
Like, that looks like the crater bridge.
What does that mean?
Like, I don't think we'll get much more elevation.
Oh my god, I wish they had an elevator here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so we're at the first lookout. We have a bunch of stairs to climb next. Then we go through the tunnels, then some more stairs, and then we're at the top. It is humid. You can see how red my face is. Wow, we're just trying to cool off a bit. But look at this view. Okay, so we're at the point where we gotta go up a bunch of stairs, then we're gonna go through a tunnel, and I just wanted to show you the beautiful valley below. You can see where we started. You can follow the people going down there, and we've come a long way. So I'm going up the stairs, and you know, if you never see me again, it's been nice knowing you, but hopefully I'll see you on the other side. I meant like on the other side of the stairs, not like the other side, just to clarify. Okay, so I made it to the top barely. It took every ounce of strength I had to get up here. It is so humid today. I felt like I was going to die, but I'm glad I made it because look at this view. So after Diamond Head, we had lunch, and then we just hung out by the pool. So on Wednesday, I woke up and it was really storming out. Like, it was wild. Nobody was in the water. Like, the waves were huge, and we had an excursion book, and they never called, they never texted, they never emailed to say, you know, it is canceled. So we took a lift to the marina where we were supposed to go snorkeling with the turtles. We got there and the boat owner said, oh yeah, I guess I should have called you guys and let you know that we're not going out. So everything was canceled, like, until the day we left Sunday. The weather was that bad. Like, it was a storm they hadn't seen in a very, very long time, and I think very unusual for that time of the year. That's what we were told. But there was flooding in the streets. There was flooding in some stores near our hotel. So we're like, well, what are we going to do all day? Like, you can't, you know, sit by the pool. Like, it's a monsoon outside. What are we going to do? I'm not going to sit here in my hotel room. So we decided to rent a car. So we walked to the mall across from the hotel, rented a car, and my daughter had sort of already planned it out at home. Like, we had planned on getting a car for 2 days, and we were going to tour the island in 2 days. Well, we ended up doing it all in 1 day. So, you know, this, where we were in Waikiki, it was like a really bad tropical storm, but then when you go up the highway and we went to the first lookout, like, it wasn't raining there, so it worked out for us. We rented a car, we went to lookouts of the ocean, we went to the blowhole. I'm going to say these words, I know that I'm probably mispronouncing them, I'm sorry, but I will put the name across the screen. We went to Makapu Lookout, Lanikai Beach, we went to the Botanical Gardens, Temple, and to the North Shore. We ended up talking to a tour guide that was doing another tour. We were told that, I forget the name of the channel, but it's like where Oahu and then the island of Molokai, it might be called the Molokai Channel, but the water is very, very dangerous there. And she said that if you were to fall in the water, you actually get pulled out 1 mile every minute out to sea. That's how strong the current is there. Because they had all kinds of fences up and, you know, signs up, danger, don't go on the rocks. And what are people doing? They're down on the rocks, like, you know, and a rogue wave could just come in and suck them out to sea. Yeah, it was a really nice lookout. It rained most of the day, you know, off and on. Some of the roads were flooded, but we managed. We tried to make the best of it. We stopped at the Japanese temple, which we saw on Hawaii 5-0, where Adam and Kona had got married. And it's, I think it's a replica of a temple that is in Japan. It's just gorgeous. We went to Lanikai Beach and walked the beach, and then the skies just opened up and we got drenched. And that was Catherine's favorite beach on Hawaii 5-0. And then we went to see the Hawaii 5-0 headquarters, which was kind of fun because we enjoyed watching Hawaii 5-0. So I ended up wearing these old navy gauze shorts, an athleta blouse, and my Olokai flip-flops. If you are subscribed to my channel, I really hope that you will subscribe. It's 100% free. I bring 2 to 3 fashion and healthy aging videos a week, and it would really help me out. And if you could also follow me on the LTK app, it is a free shopping app where you can follow your favorite influencers. They do have in-app sales. And that's where I post most of my outfits before I get a chance to make a YouTube video. So sometimes whenever I make a video, things are sold out. So if you follow me on the free app and you see something that you like, you can just like the heart, and then you'll get a notification whenever it comes on sale. So on Thursday, the weather was still miserable. We were supposed to have the car on Thursday, but we had done everything on the Wednesday, the day before. So we thought, well, what are we going to do? So we read about the aquarium and we went to the aquarium. And we wanted to see the sea lion, but apparently the sea lion had left and was in California. So unless I swam across the Pacific, I was not going to see the sea lion. So I think we stayed at the aquarium maybe 30, 40 minutes. A very tiny aquarium, kind of disappointed because a lot of the exhibits, they were closed. I'm not sure why. So then we just walked around. My knee was really killing me. I was in a lot of pain. And then I think in the afternoon we just went to the pool in the rain because there was nothing else to do. So, you know, weather, it can make or break a vacation. I'm disappointed that the weather, you know, was this bad. We were told it's very unusual for that time of the year. So we just tried to make the best of things. So on the Friday, we ended up taking a lift to go to the King Kamehameha statue. I know I did not say that right. We wanted to see it because that was the backdrop for the Hawaii Five-0 headquarters where they had their office. And then after that, we took a lift to Pearl Harbor to visit the USS Arizona Memorial. And you have to book that ahead of time. Like my daughter had booked that, I think maybe a month or so ahead of time. And then we just went for lunch and hung out at the hotel because I was in a lot of pain. So on Saturday, we didn't know what to do because we still had 2 more full days and we felt like we had seen and done everything. We wanted to do the submarine, but everything to do with the water you couldn't do because the ocean was so rough. I mean, the waves were wild. There were some waves, they were huge. It's like, these people out there, they're crazy. Like, they're gonna drown. Like, I couldn't believe that there were people in the water because you could really tell that the undercurrent was really strong. So I was worried about some of them. So my daughter said, well, why don't we just do like a Circle Island tour? Because, you know, maybe we'll go some places we didn't do whenever we had the car. So I said, well, I don't care. We don't have anything to do. We might as well. So she booked us on a Circle Island tour. And we pretty much saw everything that we had seen the day we had the car. But it was nice because now we had a local guide and she was explaining what we were looking at. She was telling us very interesting stories. And we actually went to a macadamia nut farm, which was interesting. And we also went to the Dole plantation and we had that Dole whip. I wasn't gonna get it. My daughter got small and with 2 spoons and, well, I helped her polish it off because I do have to say it was quite tasty. It reminded me almost of frozen yogurt. It was really, really good. There was a stop for 2 hours at the Turtle Bay Resort so you could go swimming. Well, we didn't bring our bathing suits because we didn't want to sit, you know, in wet bathing suits for a couple hours coming home. It was like not a nice day. It was actually kind of cool. The water was cold. The water wasn't as rough there because you're in a bay. But yeah, like there was hardly anybody out on the beach. And because all beaches in Hawaii are public, so it's kind of annoying. Like you're spending $2,000 a night because we looked at this hotel and that's what they charge. I'd be annoyed, like if there was busloads of people always coming to the beach. That's just my opinion. So on the Sunday, the turtle excursion that we were supposed to have went on the Wednesday or the Tuesday, I forget now, was rebooked for Saturday because our flight was leaving at 10 o'clock at night. So we were going to do the snorkeling because we asked the hotel if we could keep the room till later, so we had to pay a little fee. But I really recommend doing that if you can, because it would be awful like to have to be out of your room at 11 and you're just going to sit in the lobby for, you know, 10 hours. So it was nice to have the room. We could come and go as we pleased, have a shower before we left for the airport. My daughter called. The excursion lady said, yep, the boat's going out. So I think we were on the 1 o'clock tour. I personally don't think that they should have went out. The seas were rolling too much, in my opinion, for people that were not good swimmers. I did not get in the water because I did not want to get into a pickle again. Getting back on the boat with my knee, and I could barely walk as it was, and I was in a lot of pain. My daughter decided to get in. She regrets getting in because she said the water was too cloudy. Like it was just too stirred up from the storm. Like I think she saw 1 turtle. So we kind of regret not getting a refund, but she had never swam with sea turtles before, so she kind of wanted that experience. So then we came back. I think we went to Monkey Pod for lunch. That's a restaurant that we learned about last year in Maui. And then we came back packed and got a lift to go to the airport. We got to the airport, I think 3 hours before, because that's what they recommend when you fly international. And it was on a Sunday and absolutely nothing was open. Like, I think we got supper at a Subway or something. Like the restaurants, even the duty-free stores were closed. So that was our 8 days in Oahu. So I have some thoughts and some tips that I want to share with you. Oahu is absolutely stunning. It is absolutely so beautiful and so diverse. 1 minute, you know, you're looking out at the ocean, these wild waves, and then you have these gorgeous, gorgeous, lush green mountains. It's out of this world. And so different, I find, from Maui. But Honolulu is a huge, huge city. And when you get a block or 2 back from the hotel, you realize you're in a really big city, and it's just kind of weird, like you're on the Vegas Strip in the middle of the Pacific. I do not like big cities, but I wanted to visit Honolulu. I'm glad that I did, but if I had to choose between Maui and going back to Oahu, I would choose Maui just because I like the quieter pace. But if you love big cities, you're probably going to love Honolulu because, I mean, you can do anything. It's a huge place with lots of things to do, lots of restaurants, nightlife. I also wanted to mention that for such a big city, these are some of the most courteous drivers I think that I have ever encountered. Like so nice. They have like really big highways. I think there was like 5 or 6 lanes each way, kind of like driving through Toronto. But the drivers were so courteous. Like they were just so very calm and, you know, just really polite and nice. We stayed at the Sheraton. It is an absolutely beautiful hotel. It's a really big hotel. I think we were on floor 6. And when we got our floor assignment, we thought, ugh, you know, it's not going to be very nice because you're not going to see much. It was perfect. I think we had a better view than if we would have been on floor 16. We were like right over the infinity pool, which is absolutely beautiful. That's the adult only pool. They also have a family pool that they share with, I think it's the Royal Hawaiian. It's the Pink Hotel. The grounds are lovely. It's just a really gorgeous hotel. And for the most part, it's a quiet hotel, except for the night before we left. There was some partying going on, but I mean, can't blame the hotel for that. But the grounds were just impeccable. And all of the staff, very polite and very nice and very clean. However, I'm not happy about the resort fees. I don't know why hotels do this. It's really annoying. Like just include it in the price of the evening rate. But it worked out to like $60 a night for resort fees, which is ridiculous. And what did we get for it? Well, the internet. We could have went to, I think, hula lessons and lei making. It's just get rid of the resort fees. You know, it's just another money grab in my opinion. That's my feeling. Unfortunately, the weather was awful. You can never control the weather. I mean, getting hurt, being sick with a cold. It's like my daughter's like, we are not going back to Hawaii next year. We're going somewhere else because Hawaii just does not like you. But I love Hawaii and I want to go back. So I will go back because I want to go back to Maui and I want to do Kauai and the Big Island of Hawaii because they're also diverse. They just look so pretty. Oahu was about 2/3 of the cost for accommodations than Maui was for a very similar accommodations, because in Maui we stayed at the Westin and in Oahu it was the Sheraton, both gorgeous hotels. I recommend looking at Air Canada and Costco for vacations because they are cheaper and you get some bonuses. Like when we went to Maui last year, I think they threw in like a resort credit every day of I think $25 US, plus the resort fees were covered. So, you know, those things add up. And if you would have had to pay for parking I think was like 60 US a night. So that's why we just rented the car for the day, because that's a lot of money on top of what you're already paying. Make reservations early. And my daughter wants me to tell you this. Diamond Head, you have to book 30 days in advance. And you want to tell the Lyft driver you need to be dropped off inside the crater. Otherwise, you will have to take a long walk to get into the trailhead. That's where the hike starts. And take really good shoes because it is not flat. You're walking like on uneven surfaces with like jagged rocks and things. And very narrow, and if you were claustrophobic like I am, there is a part where you go through a tunnel and it is dark, and I just started to feel very claustrophobic because it seemed to be a lot longer than what it looked like in YouTube videos. So I ended up having to put my light on in my phone because I get claustrophobic now for whatever reason. The USS Arizona, you have to book 8 weeks in advance because you have to watch, I think it was a half-hour movie before you actually take the boat to the memorial. It was very sobering. I did take a photo of all of the names of the people that died, and it's quite sobering when you see all these names. I'm glad that we went. So we pre-booked our tours on Viator. If you want to get water or you need like Tylenol or things like that, you can go to the ABC stores. They're all over the place. They sell some groceries, yogurt, you know, beach toys, pretty much everything. And you want to look for reef safe sunscreen or wear UPF clothing to help the coral reefs. We don't want to cause them any more damage. And another tip, if you have a cell phone, say I'm from Canada, I don't have a cell phone carrier that is in the US. So we buy eSIM cards online. but we don't have the ability to use the phone to talk on, to use it as a phone. Like we can do everything else, you know, go online, text, but you just can't talk on the phone. So what my daughter does when she books our excursions, like we always book through Viator, and you only end up paying, I think, well, every tour is different. You'll read the directions, but it might be like 48 hours before your tour or whatever. Just put in that you don't have the ability to receive phone messages and ask them to email or text you, and it works great. And another thing that I recommend, we had to be out of the hotel at 11. Our flight was at 10, and we thought, what are we gonna do all day? Like, especially, you know, the weather's bad. It's not like we can go in the ocean or anything. And we ended up sitting out in the rain by the pool Sunday morning for a couple of hours. But I recommend asking the hotel if you can keep the room for a later check-in. And they ended up charging us, I think it was like $200 US. You know, it's a little more than what I wanted to spend, but I understand they can't give it to you for free. But it was just nice because in the afternoon I could go and put my foot up. We took our time packing, had a nice clean shower, put on clean clothes before we headed to the airport. So I hope that you found my video helpful, and you might also enjoy seeing my top 40 Amazon travel must-haves for Europe if you're jetting off to Europe or any international travel this year. Thanks for spending time with me today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.